Hi, my name is Steve Tannenbaum, and I am a very grateful cardiac arrest survivor of May 6, 2009. So I'm really only 16 years old. I wanted to alert the public to a very serious public health problem, and that's sudden cardiac arrest. And when people think of sudden cardiac arrest, they think about old people, old men in particular. But the public is not aware that the most recent statistics from authoritative sources tell us that about 23,000 young people a year are dying every year from sudden cardiac arrest. So the public has to understand that this is not an old person problem, it's a young person problem as well. As a member of a foundation known as Parent Heart Watch, and as a board of directors member, I've been privileged to work with them. And our goal is nationally to be the voice to try and save youth from sudden cardiac death. And there are many things that we can do that. The first issue is what we call primary prevention. Primary prevention consists of screening of kids, heart screenings, which include EKGs, which are not included in normal, regular pre-participation physicals, let alone the general school population. By adding a simple EKG to the pre-participation physical, we can save a very good percent of these young kids who are dying in sports participation. And Parent Heart Watch has undertaken national legislative efforts, and our members have done it throughout the country, and we are making gains. We are getting screenings occurring. We here in New York, in my home state, we have Heart Screen New York. We've screened over 8,000 kids absolutely free. We do a history and physical examination. We do an EKG, and if it's indicated, we do an echocardiogram right on site by a pediatric cardiologist. This is all done for free. We've screened 8,000 kids, and we've picked up 120 kids who needed cardiac follow-up. So the public must be made aware that their children are at risk, even if they don't have any signs or symptoms, and that's the main problem. But occasionally there are signs and symptoms, and you should always ask your child when they give a medical history, have you been short of breath after exertion? Do you have chest pain upon exertion? Do you feel fainting and things like that? And if so, that child requires a detailed cardiac workup because there could be a condition that could be found and that child's life could be saved. So it's very important that the public understand children are at risk as well as adults, not at the same rate, but it's very real. And it's not rare at all, as you're going to read a lot of times in the newspaper. So I encourage you to have your children screened. Speak to your doctors about having EKGs done. Don't say my child does not have an EKG, it does not need an EKG because he or she is healthy. That is the time to have it, because a lot of times these kids are asymptomatic and the first symptom is their funeral, and we need to stop that from happening.